Okay, Maple Leafs fans, just breathe. Take a deep breath. Because the level of off-season speculation coming out of Toronto right now is reaching heights previously thought impossible. We're not just talking about potential trades or free agent signings anymore. Oh no, the conversation has apparently escalated to buying out a star player with 4 years left on a $60 million contract. Are we serious right now? Has the pressure in Toronto finally broken everyone's brains, or is there some twisted logic to this absolutely wild suggestion? Let's try to make sense of the madness. The Toronto Maple Leafs are once again staring down an offseason where significant changes are not just anticipated, they're practically guaranteed. After another disappointing playoff exit, the spotlight is intensely focused on the core players and how general manager Brad Treliving plans to reshape this roster to finally get over the hump. While much of the discussion has centered around the futures of pending free agents like Mitch Marner and John Tavares, a truly eyebrow-raising suggestion has emerged regarding one of the team's cornerstone defensemen, Morgan Rielly. Morgan Rielly has been a fixture on the Maple Leafs blue line for over a decade. Drafted 5th overall in 2012, he's played his entire 873-game NHL career in Toronto, often serving as the team's top defenseman and a key leader. He's currently 4 years into an 8-year, $60 million contract that carries a significant $7.5 million annual average value. By all accounts, he's an important player for this franchise. Despite his long tenure and importance, Rielly's name has surfaced in trade rumors this offseason, a testament to the level of change potentially coming to Toronto. However, trading Rielly is complicated by a crucial factor: his no-movement clause. This clause gives Rielly the power to veto any trade the Maple Leafs might propose, effectively giving him control over his destination. And that's where this truly wild idea comes into play. According to NHL analyst Adam Wild, the Maple Leafs might consider a drastic measure to move on from Rielly precisely because of that no-movement clause. Wild floated the possibility of the Maple Leafs actually buying out Morgan Rielly's contract. Speaking on SDPN, Wild posed the question, when you have a no-move, can you be bought out on a no-move? A buyout would save them $5.8 million next year. It's a lot of years. The logic, as unconventional as it sounds, seems to be rooted in the fact that a buyout is one of the few ways a team can part ways with a player who has a full no-movement clause and is unwilling to waive it for a trade. However, the immediate reaction from many, including Wild's co-host Steve Dangle, was one of utter disbelief and outright rejection. Dangle's response was swift and emphatic. There's no way. They are not buying out Morgan Rielly, no way. And honestly, that's probably the gut reaction for most sane hockey observers. Buying out a player of Rielly's caliber with that much term and money remaining seems almost unthinkable. But let's look at the financial implications as reported by Puckpedia, because that's where the logic of a buyout, however twisted, lies. If the Maple Leafs were to buy out Morgan Rielly, it would provide some immediate cap relief. They would save approximately $5.8 million against the salary cap next season, 2025-26, and then save around $3.86 million annually from 2026-27 through 2029-30. That's a total of 5 years of significant cap savings. However, the dark side of a buyout, especially on a long contract like Rielly's, is the extended cap penalty. From 2030-31 all the way through 2034-35, the Maple Leafs would carry a cap hit of $2.13 million annually for a player who is no longer with the team. We're talking about a cap penalty stretching out for 10 years. That's a significant amount of dead cap space for a very long time, impacting future roster construction well into the next decade. It's a move with immediate, albeit temporary, gain, followed by a very long period of financial pain. Looking at Rielly's performance this past season, he skated in all 82 games, recording 7 goals and 34 assists for 41 points. While 41 points is a respectable total for a defenseman, it's certainly a step back from the offensive production he's shown in previous seasons, particularly the 68 points he put up just 2 years ago. Some analysts believe his overall play has declined, which is likely fueling the desire from some corners to move on. But here's the other major factor making a move, especially a trade, incredibly difficult: Morgan Rielly himself. With that no-movement clause firmly in place, Rielly has the power to dictate his future. And he's made his intentions clear. Speaking at the team's locker clean-out day, on May 20th, Rielly addressed the speculation directly. When asked about the possibility of leaving Toronto, Rielly stated, "That's not what I'm thinking about right now." He acknowledged that there's always change in the offseason, but emphasized his focus is on improving his own game to help the team. He added, "As a player, I think sometimes it's best not to speculate on what may or may not happen. For us, individually for me, you want to focus on what you can do to come back better." His comments strongly suggest he has no desire to leave Toronto and intends to be a part of the team moving forward. This puts the Maple Leafs in a tricky position. If they want to move on from Rielly due to performance concerns or cap reasons, their options are limited. A trade is unlikely unless Rielly approves the destination, which he seems disinclined to do. That leaves the drastic measure of a buyout as potentially the only way to force him off the roster, despite the significant and long-lasting cap penalty. Adding another layer to this is the perspective of general manager Brad Treliving. While the team clearly needs changes, Treliving has expressed a degree of satisfaction with the team's defensive group as a whole. Treliving stated, "In today's game, I like the length of our defense, I like the makeup of our defense." He did acknowledge areas for improvement, such as getting out of their own end more effectively, closing quicker, and taking away space. He also mentioned the need for more offense from the defense. Critically, he concluded by saying, "In terms of personnel, we'll see. I like the decor, but we can't be rigid." This suggests that while he's generally okay with the defense, he's not completely opposed to making changes if the right opportunity arises. However, his comments don't necessarily scream, "We need to buy out our highest-paid defenseman." So, the situation is complex and, frankly, a little baffling. You have a long-tenured, important player with a massive contract and a no-movement clause who wants to stay. You have analysts suggesting a drastic, penalty-laden buyout as a potential way out. And you have the GM expressing general approval of the defense while still leaving the door open for some changes. The idea of buying out Morgan really feels extreme, almost desperate, given the long-term cap consequences. It would be an admission that a $60 million investment didn't work out, and they couldn't find a trade partner Rielly would accept. All right, Leafs Nation, what in the world do you make of this? Is the idea of buying out Morgan really completely insane? Or is there some hidden logic to it that I'm missing, given his contract, his no-move clause, and his stated desire to stay? How else can the Maple Leafs realistically make a significant change on the blue line if they feel it's necessary? I am genuinely perplexed by this suggestion, and I need to hear your takes. Let me know in the comment section below if you think a Rielly buyout is even remotely possible, or if it's just pure off-season madness. And hey, if you're as bewildered by this as I am, and you appreciate us trying to make sense of the chaos coming out of Toronto, please do me a huge favor and give this video a big thumbs up right now. Seriously, hitting that like button is the best way to support the channel and helps us keep bringing you these exclusive reports on your favorite teams. Drop a comment, hit the like button, and let's talk about this wild Rielly situation. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll keep digging into the Maple Leafs off-season plans and bring you the very latest.